I saw you had posted some stuff on Juva Spice. I love Juva Spice.
Oh my gosh, I had never heard of it before, and I saw it in the book, and I'm like, I really would like to try this, and I've put it off for months, just because like, oh, I need something else, and you know what I mean, your budget, you know.
Yeah.
And finally, I was like, you know what? I'm putting it on my order. I don't know what I need to do with it yet, but I'm putting it on my order, and I got it in, and I'm trying to find recipes and trying to find things, and you know, I just sprinkled some on my eggs, and then, you know, I had chicken that night and some pierogies, and I just sprinkled it on just to see what it tastes like. And
On your salad. Gary puts it on his salad. It's actually on, they have it on the bar at all of the harvests. You know, when you go to winter harvest, there's actually a bottle of it there, and they
just
sprinkle it
sprinkle
onto
it.
anything you want to eat.
Well, I did my tuna salad with it. And I
Perfect.
thought, you know what? You're supporting your whole digestive system with it, which is perfect. And that's why I wanted to post it on our site
It was
too.
great.
It's an addition to the digestive support. Um,
Absolutely.
but
Absolutely.
the taste is just phenomenal. And here it's the same thing as Juvatone with the addition to the cayenne pepper and the ginger. That's the only difference. So, you know, if you're already using Juvatone, you're still supporting your digestive system the same way. You just don't have the, you know, the flavor, the spice part of it. You know what I mean? So the cayenne, it's not too hot. It's just perfect. It's just a perfect little boost to it, you know? So in your salad, if you're making your own marinade or barbecue sauce or, you know, anything, and I think for cooking like turkey or tofu would be an excellent seasoning for that.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So I had something I wanted to do with everybody before we got into challenges and successes and questions. Are you ready? I don't see anybody. If anybody is listening to the recording, if you have a baby or something, just put us on mute for a little bit. But I'd like everyone to stand up. Okay, so Tony Robbins talks a lot about physiology and how important it is to celebrate. So what we're going to do for 20 seconds, we're going to raise our arms. We're going to jump up and down. You want to have your feet off the ground, and I want you to scream and make noises that are going to make you feel good and excited like you're a kid, because I want us to celebrate all that we've come through already, and it just helps create like a new set point as we break any patterns or beliefs and move into the new us. Are you ready? Okay. Oh wait, unmute yourselves. I want to hear this.
I can't scream. I can't scream.
Elena.
I got a quiet house. I can't scream.
Okay. All right, you ready? If you want to mute us though, since we don't want to make like, if anybody needs to mute us so that we don't wake up your house or children, do that. Okay, ready? And if you're watching the rerun, do this too, the rerun like from the 80s. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Woo! Louder, let me hear you! Woo!
What?
A little bit more! So when you do that, your body creates endorphins. Like you can't help but feel good after you do that. So that's part of his priming that you're supposed to do every day. And then when we do that after, all right, we just made good choices for breakfast with the sleep. I took my vitamins today. Woo! Positive reinforcement to keep doing those activities.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't stop laughing.
See? It's amazing. So if anyone's interested, I'll post a Tony Robbins something and the priming exercise. But I mean, yes. And a lot of these changes as we go through the 90 days are changing patterns and beliefs. So you could totally, you know, if you want any resources for that. And a lot of it, Susan's going to talk now about like the physiology of the 90 days, like why 90 days is important when we're looking at our system.
Yeah, well, 90 days is really important because when you're making a change in your body, so there's a lot of changes. There's, you know, there's the changes we can see here, but there's a lot of changes that go on internally that really need a 90-day window to make a difference. There are some things you can do and you can feel immediately, but to make a complete turn in your body on a cellular level, you really need 90 days, because as cells die and new patterns are created, new cells come up, you need to take that time to make sure that everything's been done. Not only that, but by doing it for 90 days, you've broken any old habits that your body has. It's so easy. If you've been off of gluten for 2 or 3 weeks, it's so easy to go back. It's so easy to put it right back in. If you go off for something like gluten for 90 days or dairy for 90 days, again, your body's had a chance to really get rid of everything. You'll often find when you try that food again, there's a major reaction that goes on. I mean, I'm talking a major reaction. You get really sick, or you don't feel well, or you get bloated, or you have brain fog. It really exasperates how it is, because the body hasn't been without it. When people go really clean and non-toxic, some of the things they face the most is that when they walk into Walmart and they go through that chemical aisle, they come out with a headache on the other side, because they've been so clean for so long. And the same thing happens with foods and those type of things. So to do a change with like an omega gize, or with an enzyme, or with a probiotic, or that, always those 90 days, because it gives the body the time to accept them, to have it work, to have it flip everything it needs to flip, and then to be able to move on. 90 days.
So I wanted, if you guys want to comment in the little section about your biggest challenges, your biggest successes, but we could also check in, since we have a small group. We wanted to see how the momentum is going. What do you need from the group to help you stay strong as we're moving towards the full 90 days? Like what, how, where are you at? Whether you want to chat it, whether you want to say it out loud.
Liz, I'd be curious how you're finding the Ula tea detox.
I love it.
Yeah?
Yes. So I knew that I needed to get rid of my sugar. That's been my biggest problem for years. And I like how the Ula tea detox is broken down into each day. You get a video from Dr. Dave, and it is very inspiring, and it's very, like, you get a little bit of a saying to go with you through the day, and that really has helped me a lot. And I like that it's no nonsense. It's, you drink a gallon of water a day, you cut it cold turkey. I think there was one other thing, but it was basically like eliminate all the junk, like boom. And the 25 grams of sugar per day. And that's what I needed. And so I did a lot of research beforehand, because like I would put a banana in my shake that I would have every day. And I was like, oh my gosh, a banana has 14 grams of sugar. That's half of my sugar for the day. So I was like, all right. And then I looked up avocados, and I was like, oh, there's only like 1 gram of sugar in an avocado. So I'm like, all right, I'll use 1/4 of an avocado. It'll still give me the creaminess. And it only took me like a day of missing that sweetness in my shake. So I was like, all right, I can do this. So it did take a lot of planning to see, okay, what of my meals, can I make, and what can I prep in advance, and what can I have? And I did it. And I needed to do it. So I wanted to do it. And I liked too, the fact that there were only 14 tea bags in your original bag of detox tea. And it was a 14-day detox. And he said, if you cheat, if you have anything else that you're not supposed to have, you start over. It's day 1 again. And I was like, all right, I've only got 14 tea bags, so I have to do it. So I mean, that was good for me, because it was like, all right, because I'm very frugal. So I was like, I don't want to buy another bag. I want to make this 1 bag work. And I did. And I'm actually doing a second round now. And I love it. I love it. It's helped me a lot.
Yeah, and that has to really support, you're doing the overall health, right? The happy hormones. That has to really help you a lot when you've gotten rid of that sugar. It's kind of like, we talk about that when we talk about digestion, and we ask people to give up gluten, which so many people are like, I can't give up gluten. Well, gluten is not only a sugar, right? Mm-hmm. People don't realize that 1 slice of whole wheat bread, you'd be better off to eat a teaspoon of sugar. Yeah, you're much better off to eat a teaspoon of sugar. That's how much it spikes your insulin levels. So, when we talk about doing things like, giving up wheat or giving up gluten or giving up a lot of those grains, it's just like the sugar. It's kind of like being pregnant. It's either all or nothing. You can't be kind of pregnant. Well, you can't be kind of off sugar. You can't be kind of off gluten, because gluten, like sugar, can take days, weeks, even months to clear the body, So you need to do that steady 14 days, because it can rebound just like that. It can rebound.
I'm feeling really inspired just having the group and being a part of the group. And I'm wondering if you guys have any ideas, like, that would be helpful to the group. I want to see what kind of challenges you're having, and what else we could give. More jumping up and down, because I could do that. I'm really good at that.
I've really enjoyed all the information that's been given on each of the different sections. That's been very helpful. Even if it's not my section, I'm finding myself watching it, knowing, like, for example, for the digestive, I know that I need to do that eventually. I'm just doing it in phases that fit my life right now. But it's like, okay, I'm getting these little tidbits that I know are going to help me in the future. And I'm learning even more from that. And I'm going to take that with me as I do this again on another round.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, what I've noticed is that even though, I'm doing like the healthy hormones and the adrenal support, when I'm getting the tidbits on the digestion or on, with Melissa's, with her weight loss one, I'm kind of like, oh, I should do that. And I'm just doing it. I'm just adding on like a little at a time, trying to do something that's a little bit more healthy, or cutting something out, or like, oh, I can substitute this for that. So that's been a big help for me too, just to, knowing what you're supposed to be doing overall. And it just kind of helps to support everything. Even though you're not doing that program, you still find yourself doing it.
Yeah, listening in and taking the tips. Now, are either of you noticing that any one of the particular supplements or support products you're taking has made a huge difference?
Yes. I have been using Progressence Plus, and I use it 2 times a day. And I have noticed a huge difference in even my moods. It really has helped me to not worry about the trivial things. Like, it just kind of is like, whatever, like little things don't bother me so much anymore. I do use the sclerescence every once in a while, or sometimes I'll use the Progressence Plus in the morning and the sclerescence in the afternoon or evening when I need it. And that helps. And I've been doing the Endoflex, which I just love the smell of it. Even like, it calms me. It calms me down. Like, it just makes me, it's just like, like, I do it every time, and I don't know why. I'm like, why do I do this? Why do I do that? I have no idea. But I literally do it. Like, I literally sigh, like a sigh of relief every time I put it on. It's the strangest thing in the world. But, and I do use the Thyromin at night also. So I've been doing that. And, I'm using my Life 9. So I'm like trying to support, every part of, as much as I can, and of course the Ninja, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just love it. I have it in the morning, and then I'll have it at like 2:00 in the afternoon when I'm really like, okay, I've had my lunch and I still have to work, and I'm like, I need something to keep me going. So it's either that or a nitro, and I'll do that. And it all seems to work together though, because it literally boosts my mood as well as my energy level. So I think it's also supporting my adrenals and, everything else. So it's all working together, and I love it.
It's great. It's great.
Those are some of my favorite products. I was at like a Young Living event yesterday, and somebody's like, tell me about Progressence Plus. And it was just like, it was a 5-hour day, and it was just kind of long. And I'm like, and I was holding the bottle. I'm like, if the apocalypse happened and I only got to take one thing, it would be these. And then I explained it to her afterwards. She's like, okay,
I gotta get that.
But it's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I knew that we promised to keep this under a half hours. So I wanted to do the raffle unless there's any other questions. Any questions or comments? All right. Raffle time. Use the force and the fairies. I'm going to let you guys look at it before I do.
Ooh,
Renee Arledge.
Yay.
Awesome. We will
That's awesome.
send her a little treat, and we'll have to make everybody watch the rerun, the 80s rerun. Jump up and down before they find out who won. So don't tell
I
us.
think we're all nuts.
Well, for those of you who are following the digestive, in month 3, we added in Comfort Tone. For those of you who are detoxing, Comfort Tone is a great addition because it starts the detox process gently. So it's a good one to add in if you want to continue on, but take it just to that next level deeper.
I have that. I haven't tried it yet, but I have the trio. I have everything, and then I have the 5-day cleanse, all the stuff that goes with that too.
Love
So
it.
it's just hard for me thinking you're only gonna have that shake and some snacks. It's so hard for me. And when you have a family or a husband that you've got to cook for, and he's not gonna do it, and then you're cooking, you smell the food. It's just so hard to.
I'm telling you, after day 2, you won't even want. You're gonna feel so good. Just the first 2 days.
Yeah, and you know, the thing to do is to plan all the meals ahead.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you have to plan ahead. You know, go buy a turkey and cook a turkey, and then do the turkey one day, and then make turkey sandwiches and make turkey soup or whatever. You know, cook stuff that's all done and ready to go, and have burgers ready to go, just that you can throw on the grill, because it will make it so much easier for you to do it. So.
Yeah.
One thing that I wanted to mention too is with me doing the 25 grams of sugar per day, my husband has been, he's always been like my worst, proponent as far as sugar, because like we would have ice cream together and we would have snacks together and this and that. And I told him, and I told my kids too, and I said, Mom needs to do this. I said, I'm not feeling very healthy and I need to do this. And I said, but I need your support. And I asked them for their support. And I told my kids, I said, we can't have a bunch of junk food in the house. I said, Mom's going to get rid of it. And I said, and I don't want you asking for it. And I told my husband, and I said, I need you to support me too, and not to be bringing home junk and not to be eating junk in front of me. And I said, because he started laughing, and I was like, no, I'm serious. And I said, if I were an alcoholic, I said, I wouldn't expect you to be having alcohol in front of me and bringing it into the house. I said, I am a sugar addict. And I said, and I really need your support on this. And I think that helped, because he was like, oh, okay. And then my kids were like, all right, we can do this. So stating that, you need their support rather than just doing it and having them like think,